to Cat Harmon Yoga. Today we have a special treat for you. We're starting a new series called Mobility with Mo. One of my best dear friends here, Mo, has broken her ankle and she is on week 4 of post-op from her surgery to repair it. I'm going to let her give you a little bit of spiel about what's going on there and then we'll get started with the mobility.
Hey, good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Mo, and as Kat mentioned, I had broken my ankle. I actually broke it about 8 weeks ago. In fact, was the injury, and then the surgery was 4 weeks ago. So one screw on the outside of my ankle, which was my fibula. I just looked it up too.
Fibula.
We had a little fibula fracture down here, and we're just gonna start working on some mobility, some stretching and light exercising. Right now I cannot bear but 50% weight on it, so I'm still not even really walking or anything. We're in some really early stages of getting it back to some sort of normal.
Yeah. So what I'm going to offer her in this practice is an entire class on her back that's going to start working on mobility and flexion in her ankle and her feet as well. And that's going to begin to build heat into the legs, the high inner thighs. We're going to start to give her some hip openers. That's going to give her some relief from being seated so long with this broken ankle. So these things, if you don't have a broken ankle and you're working towards mobility, this class will still be beneficial for you. We'll just be talking about some things doing with the ankle as we move through it. So she's going to begin on her back. I'm going to let her get comfortable and get out of her way. And you can use a blanket underneath your hips for this practice if you notice that the hamstrings are quite tight, and we'll be able to tell that with Mo when we get there. Because
I was like, you're just going ahead.
Just go. Okay, she said just go on ahead. So it's a great place to be for your hips and your low back, and you just let me know if that place is good for you. Is that good? Okay. So we're gonna start out in a. You know what? First, let's give ourselves a little hug. So bring the knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug for taking care of yourself today and for choosing me to do it with. I am incredibly grateful. Thank you for being here, Mo, and everybody watching. And then we'll start to kind of flatten out through the low back, the sacrum, and see where the resistance is landing in the hips. Relax the shoulders, relax the upper back. Beautiful. And then we'll start to head into a hip stand. Send those heels to the sky. And just check in with where the resistance starts to land in the hamstrings or behind the knees here. Legs can just be heavy for a moment. Good. Let's hug that right knee into the chest. Squeeze. And switch, we'll hug the left knee into the chest. So you just move at your rate, because you know I get excited and I might talk really fast, and you as well at home move at your own pace. We're going to do one more round each side, just kind of starting to warm up the hip a little bit more, getting into the glute and the back side of the leg. Breathing the whole time you're doing this, really encouraging the movement to move with the breath. So as you pull in, there's a release here of an inhale or an exhale, and as you go out, same thing. Then we'll start to come into like what I would maybe call an exercise-ish movement here. We're going to turn our toes out to the side. Checking in with this, if I got any dancers on here, this is first position. We line our hip bone, closely as we can with our knee bone. The knees can be a little bent here if the hamstrings are tight, and then ankles on top. How's that feeling in your ankle here?
It feels good.
Okay.
It's actually more tight in my hamstrings.
In your hamstrings, good, which is what we're going to warm up and stretch out, so that's awesome. So toes are out, heels are in. And you're going to start to bend the knees, and these are going to go out wide as you lower the heels down, keeping the soles of the feet as best as you can to the ceiling. And then you'll press back out through the heel as you straighten the legs and pull the high inner thighs towards one another. Yes, and let's do 4 more of those. So as you're doing this motion here, right, we're focusing on squeezing the high inner thighs and sending the energy out through the heels, but we're also focusing on pulling down through the core here. I'm going to boop your legs back just a hair. Last 3 rounds. Pull them out. Yeah, so she's grounding down through the lowest part of her back as she's pulling her belly button to her spine and then sending the energy out through the heels. How do we feel? 2 more.
Feet are supposed to be straight up.
They're doing great. You're doing great. Yeah, you're doing fantastic. It's like you're standing on the ground, so that's what we're thinking here. Yeah, and then our last one. Awesome sauce. Do you feeling a burn anywhere? Some sensation? We're good.
Kind of in the front of my ankle a little bit now.
All right, so let's hug the knees both into the chest once again. Start to take a little bit of movement with the ankles here. Maybe they're pointing and flexing. Maybe they're circling or crossing over one and then the other. Yeah? Awesome. Good. So we're going to do the exact same thing, but the feet are going to be parallel. So let's come back to our hip stand. Good. So as you bend here, start to bend, knees start to, and then the soles of the feet want to stay towards the sky, like you're moving into a chair or a folded chair, yeah? And then press back through the heels, extend through the hamstrings, bring the feet back towards me just a little bit more, yes? And 4 more just like that. How are we feeling?
I'm very focused in
Good.
my brain.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most movement I feel like I've done in a really long time.
Okay, well I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here doing movement again, yes. Okay, and let's do one more round there. And then we'll give these little legs a break again, bring the knees into the chest, little squeeze, little hug. Awesome. So hold on to the right leg, extend the left leg long. Let's bring it all the way down to the mat here, and if this is too tight, bend the knee and plant the foot.
Okay, so this is an option.
This is our option if the hip is too tight,
Okay.
and then extension is also an option as well.
Okay.
You are a little lifted here from the blanket. Does that feel okay on the bottom leg?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start to take our foot that we're holding onto, our right foot, toes, all the way in towards the inside of us. So rotate the ankle, just at the ankle, bring the toes in.
Ooh.
And bring the toes out. Good. Yes, bring the toes in. Working on that flexion in the ankle. Bring
Am I
the
allowed
toes
to
out.
curl my
Yeah,
toes?
you can scrunch your toes.
Okay.
You can scrunch your
I don't wanna
toes.
break
Get
any
into it.
rules.
There's no rules.
Okay, all right.
There's no rules here. And turn the toes out last round. Awesome. Bring it back to center. And then take a circle, 1 turn out to me, and then 1 turn in towards you. Yep. 1. Good. 1. And back the other way. Awesome. So for now, let's begin to straighten this leg. Is it doing okay?
Yeah, I'm just so proud of it too.
It's doing so good. We're going to do 3 bends and extends on this side. So begin to bend. Same thing we were doing earlier. Now let's try to extend and get our leg as close as we can, toes to our ears. Yes. And bend. As you're moving through this movement, you're getting to that first sign of really strong resistance. And don't go past that, but breathe into it. So you're not trying to slam your leg back. You can also do this with a strap around the foot or a sock or a scarf of some kind, but we're going to save that for another day because we just want to, this is our first mobility. We want to make sure we don't push Miss Mo too hard because she'll go for it. So switching out feet, let's switch. Either plant this foot down or send the leg long as you hug the left knee into the chest. Okay. Did we circle our knee around or did I leave that out on the first side?
How did we circle it around?
No.
Or did we?
I don't know. So we're coming back in. If you circled it, circle it. If not, we're holding this knee. And then we're going to start to take the toes in towards the center of us. And out towards the outside of you. Beautiful. Let's do 2 more just like that. So noticing the difference in your mobility. Obviously, Mo has some differences in her mobility, but you may as well. And it's really important to pay attention to that as we have imbalances in our foundation and start to bring balance back into the body so we don't have any incidents. And then we'll do a circle to the outside, a circle to the inside, just to really get that ankle rolling and moving around. As you're ready, we're going to start to extend through that heel, send that leg to the sky. Push to the back of that knee and bend. Push to the back of that knee, lengthen it out and bend. The last one. Get to the edge of that resistance and relax through the upper body and extend. Awesome. Pull that knee back into the chest. Give it a big squeeze. Pull the left knee into meat. Whew, how are we doing? Good, we got 1 more. Start to send both legs back to the sky. So this time you choose. You can actually, since we've had the feet flex the whole time, why don't we point through the toes? So pointing through the toes to the best of your ability. They may be a little bit different. And then we're going to turn those toes out to the side again. Toes, point, and then you can just keep pointing the toes. Yep. Yep. And we're going to cross our legs like a scissor. So as you're crossing, you're reaching up through the toes, or if the feet are flexed, you're reaching out through the heels. And as you're crossing, we're crossing through the high inner thighs. Think about squeezing and rotating from there as you're lifting up out through the legs. So don't let them sit down into the socket. Let's do about 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, good. 5, 4, 3, that's what we're missing, music. 2, next time. And 1. So start to pull the knees into your chest. Give yourself your low back a little break. Let go of the belly for a moment. Maybe expand out. And then pull it back in. And then we'll send the legs back to the sky. So this time you can stay with that same variation we just did, or we're going to start to take the legs down to the ground for a count of 8 and back up for a count of 8. Oh. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
So we'll start to go 1, 2, 3, 4, pull down through the belly, 7, 8, up, 1, 2, 3, 4, relax, shoulders, 6, 7, 2 more, and 1, 2, you got it, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'm here for an assist, 3, 4, relax your shoulders, 7, last one, and 1. 2, it's natural to have the tension go back into the same places. So when we become aware, you're good, come up, and 1. When we become aware of it, then we can start to get rid of that habit. All right, pull those knees into the chest. This time, separate the knees out a little bit wider, like a happy baby squat. Yeah. Relax into the hips, the outer hips here, and let's start to move into a happy baby as you are ready. Grabbing the outer blades of the feet. Or you can go full straddle. How's that feel on those on the ankle? We good? And you can grab the ankle, you can grab the shin, you can grab behind your knees. You do not have to grab the feet to be in happy baby. From here, how can you relax a little bit deeper into the low back? Can you soften the sacrum out onto your mat? Can you relax the tailbone out and down? Can you relax in those inner thighs just a little bit more? So it's not about can I get down closer towards the ground, but can I release something that I'm holding on to that I no longer need, right? Opening out through the shoulders even more, softening through the face, the jaw, the crown of the head, the forehead. Yes. Last breath in this space. And we'll start to move into a reclined pigeon. So like I said, she's been sitting a lot. So we're going to cross the right leg up and over the left with the left foot planted on the mat. So we start here. This may be it for today, and that's okay. You want to encourage this right knee out and away from you as opposed to coming up closer towards your face. So how do we feel here?
So
the pressure of the ankle where the surgery is the deal. So what if I support your leg here, and if you're in reclined pigeon, you come on back? What if I support your leg?
Oh, okay.
How's that? And am I anywhere pressure towards the ankle? We're good. So how does that feel? You tell me when. Okay. So we got about 4 more breaths. So softening through. I like to start from the top of the head down, and sometimes I'll reverse it. But just start to scan and explore through the body in ways that you can relax and not worry about how can I get deeper into this stretch. Reclined pigeon is a fantastic posture for any kind of low back pain, hip pain, sciatic nerve pain. It's a nice release of that. And like we showed you earlier, you can even just be in it in a very modified way. You can also do this same posture from seated position in a chair. Last breath here. I bet this is feeling good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we're just going to come back out gently, switching over to the other side. You can plant the feet, do a little windshield wiper of the knees if you like, or any movement that feels good to you. Every body is different, so make sure that you're listening to your body in that moment, okay? Always, always options. Don't let somebody tell you there's not.
Okay.
Yep, then we head over to the other side. And again, she can stay in this place grounded, or she can start, does it feel weird? It's so tight.
No, it's just so nice that you, I mean, just any movement right now is just so nice. So.
Awesome. Oh, I love that.
It's just so nice.
Yeah. So on this one, I don't need to support her, but she knows that she can relax into this place too. Even if the biceps are really, and the fingers are really the only thing that are active here, you start to relax out through the belly, the low back, the hips, hamstrings for sure. Definitely keeping that front foot flexed and active is also going to protect the knee joint in this type of movement so that we're not pushing against that joint in a dangerous way or unsafe way for our body. How's this side feel compared to the other side?
I'm very tight in my hip, and then I've never had that type of modification or assist in reclined pigeon, so clearly very different. It hurts so good.
It hurts so good. I love that. I love that. Let's do 2 more big breaths here so you can relax out just a little bit more. Yeah, I can get you. Relax that tailbone. Beautiful. So gently coming down, unwinding, taking any movement that you need from here. And we'll close out this little practice with some spinal twists. So with her sitting so much again, I think I would like to take that same extension we did earlier. So right knee is into the chest, left leg falls long. Yeah, pull that right knee into the chest. And then we're going to let the knee cross over the body. Now I have a little bolster here so she can support herself just to check. And also so we don't want that ankle slamming onto the ground. This seems to be about a good space. How is that? So you can always use a blanket, like a rolled up blanket, a couple of yoga blocks, a yoga bolster, couch pillow, really anything that can support you here. Please don't be in this posture struggling for that foot to get to the ground and not breathing, because that's going to take away from any benefit that you can have in this spinal twist. Yeah. Wow, it's so much easier to teach without doing it the whole time. You want to do this more?
Yeah.
Mobility Mondays with Mo. Somebody could create me a little cartoon intro with that. Oh gosh, I thought I said on you. And we'll start to make our way back over to the other side. So taking any movement that you need on the way over. And I'll just switch that prop for her. Is that getting your way?
No need to make this weird or anything.
Oh yeah, I guess it didn't even think about that. All right, so making your way to that last space. You know, as we begin to wind down this practice, do you need a block underneath that knee?
No, I mean the bolsters.
Is it supporting you? Okay.
Let's
Let's just do a little support here, just to stay
as I my ankle
on the ground.
as well as I just kind of roll over.
Okay.
My right ankle down there was just rolling a little bit. I had to be mindful of my extended leg. I was just letting it plop right over to the side.
Yeah.
Kind of, it just takes away. Essentially it was taking away because I was relaxing into the, well, I need to relax into the twist anyway. But really just more so folding over this way and not engaging. I'm focusing on what I need to be stretching out.
So what she's done here is what we should be doing constantly through class. It's realizing when we get on autopilot and just doing something because we always do it that way, and it might not be beneficial for us in that moment. So that's why we talk about constantly checking in with how we feel in each space so that we can be in tune with our body, because our body knows what it needs to heal or to be healthy and strong and vital, and we just get in the way. So if we tune in, then we can begin to hear more clearly what we need, and I'll promise you a lot of it is a lot more kindness and awareness for our physical space. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll bring those knees back into the chest, or take any movement that you need here.
Yep. I rolled it right over and I was like, I need to do that.
Yep. And we'll just meet you guys in an easy seated position. Do you need help up? You good? All right. And then we'll take a few breaths after this practice just to kind of really allow some of that stuff to integrate that we just did physically and some of the stuff that we talked out as well, maybe emotionally and mentally. Palms come down to the knees, however it's comfortable for you to sit, right? Reach up to the crown of the head, relax the shoulders back and down. Take 3 deep breaths in and out. Releasing anything that showed up for you during this practice that you don't want to carry with you, right? And sliding those hands to heart center, closing out our practice in a seat of gratitude. Gratitude for this physical body in the form it is in this exact moment. Gratitude for this space, this opportunity we had to practice together and share energy. Then we'll slide the thumbs up to the forehead as we find gratitude for one another. Namaste, friends.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Most first class. Yay. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please click subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. I'm extremely grateful for all of our followers, and I hope that you are enjoying these videos. That being said, if you'd like to see something different or there are questions you have about this specific video, please leave a comment down below and we'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Last thing is, if you want any more information about the stuff that we're offering, head over to catharmonyoga.com. We have some online virtual downloads, workshops that you can check out, and also our upcoming events and classes, weekly Zoom classes, so you can check those out as well. Thank you so much for joining us.